to be a queen of people's hearts, in people's hearts, because I do things differently, because I don't go by a rule book, because I lead from the heart, not the head. And albeit that's got me into trouble in my work, I understand that. But someone's got to go out there and love people and show it.
And do you think that because of the way you behave, that's precluded you effectively from becoming queen?
Yes, well, not precluded me, I wouldn't say that. I just don't think I have as many supporters in that environment than I did. Yeah.
You mean within the royal household?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They see me as a threat of some kind. And I'm here to do good. I'm not a destructive person.
Why do they see you as a threat?
I think every strong woman in history has had to walk down a similar path, and I think it's the strength that causes the confusion and the fear. Why is she strong? Where does she get it from? Where is she taking it? Where is she going to use it? Why do the public still support her? When I say public, you go into an engagement and there's a great many people there.
Hello, AriTheGoddesss here. I hope you're all doing well today. May this message resonate with you. May you always use true discernment in every message. May the divine guide you and bring you the truth, the wisdom, and the clarity that is needed for your life, for your journey, for this moment. Thank you all so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your positive energy. And thank you for your listening. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So, I was just doing a message. Oh, I don't even know when that message cut off. I was just doing a message and my mic stopped working, and I just did a whole message. I'm not sure if I haven't even listened to it. I just went and just started on this message. But when I started this message, what am I trying to say? So, my mic was off when I just finished a message prior to this message. And I was like, oh, how did this cut off? So I tried to start the message again. First of all, I did the whole message. So I don't know when the mic cut off. And I haven't listened to it yet to even see. I just went ahead and started on this message. But as I was starting on this message, I saw that the mic was off. And I'm like, let me cut it back on. Cut the mic back on. It cut off. So I'm like, that's when it registered to me that this mic has been off since the previous message. And now I probably just did a message for no reason, if that makes sense. Sometimes it just takes me to go, anything I say, it's gonna come full circle. You just gotta give me a minute. Yeah. Oh wow, I have here gratitude and ease. So there's something about you. I'm gonna just go ahead and start the message. But I have here gratitude and ease. Something about you being grateful right now. And by you being grateful in this time right now, this helps you be at ease. Or this is helping you be at ease when you're more grateful. Yeah. And grounded. We're grounded on the bottom of the deck. I have here gratitude. It says, fill me with your gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for wherever you go. Then I have here ease. These cards are just flying out too. Then I have here ease. It says, it's easy for me to receive, it's easy for me to receive, it's easy for me to receive. So it's like you being grateful for what you've already been helped with, supported with, protected with, guided with from in the past and even now, because you know that it's easy for you to receive help. It's easy for you to get what it is that you want. It's something about that energy, you being in this gratitude energy, so it can put you at ease and know that it's easy for you to receive. I have your individuality and flow. So there's something about you being this individual that is growing, that is learning, that has a lot of wisdom in this time. And because maybe you went through an awakening, maybe you went through this journey, or you're on this journey of just knowing that everything that you go through, everything that you've encountered, I'll say that, is meant, and I'm getting like it's putting you in this more at ease space for yourself. You've learned that the things that you went through or just encountering is all a part of something bigger for yourself and like others. It says every person has their own personalized study plan in this earth school. So yes, individuality. Then it says flow. Allow me, divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. Dolphins could be significant. The color purple can be significant. Yeah, and receiving and divine abundance. Yeah, there's something about you being in this energy. You could be seeing the numbers like 888. I'm getting like a big abundant energy. Like, wow. It's funny. Okay. I just read divine abundance, and then I said I'm getting this big abundant energy, and then I looked down again. Even though I read it, it's like, okay, it didn't register that divine abundance is here. But anyway, I have here receiving and divine abundance. So it's like you're being guided in this time to be more grateful in this time for what you have, what you had, what you have, and what you will have, because this helps you be in this energy of ease when it comes to receiving. It doesn't have to be anything just physical. It can also be things spiritually that you've learned, wisdom that you've learned, intuition you gained, and also external things as well. But there's something about you being in this energy of gratitude that is helping you, and you're being guided in this time to continue to be in this energy because it's helping you along this journey as this individual. You're being guided in this time to be in flow and to trust that everything that you got blessed with and helped with before is all a part of, your individual path. And you're being guided in this time to be in flow and to be in this receiving energy and get what's meant for you. Maybe you had to learn not to chase things. Maybe you had to learn not to chase after things, whether it was people, places, and things. Even when it comes to your healing, you had to learn not to chase your healing, but to go within and trust that everything is within. And you had to do that with mainly everything, because that's just something that you learning. But I have here receiving and divine abundance. It says every day it becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. Wow. Then I have here divine abundance. It said you were born to align with love's will, follow the toe, and serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundance and not chase it. Wow. So yeah, it's something about you. I'm also getting like this creative energy as well. Like, it's something about you being grateful for you learning your gifts, your talents, your abilities, or there's something about you're being guided to look at what you've been through and how it has helped you learn that you have certain gifts, abilities, and talents, and how you're going to use it to help you get this, to help you to receive the abundance and align with the abundance. So the abundance is already within you, but your creativity, your talents, and your gifts is the abundance. Even more, it's not even that, it's even more. There's so much within you that is abundant, and it's like you're being guided in this time to see it from this point of view, create from that point of view, so that you can receive the external from it. Something significant about that, because maybe you were chasing it at first and you had to learn that it was like an inside thing. Yeah, your path is here. It says, dear divine, help me trust that there's a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. Wow, with right action on the bottom of the deck. Whoa. So yeah, there's something about you being on this individual path, and you trusting your path, and trusting that like you were going through this, or you went through this. Yeah, you're going through this, or you went through this because certain illusions and fears and doubts had to be cleared out, or this is something you're being guided to do in this time, to trust your path and clear out those doubts, those fears, those illusions, and trust that you're being divinely guided. Yeah, with sanctity here, it says through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. Then I have here change. When the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, that's that chasing energy, you come to a sacred crossroads in your own evolution. So yes, it's speaking of like that ego wanting to control everything, wanting to chase it because it feel like it needed to be chased. And it's something about you surrendering, giving it to divine, giving that offering to the divine, and trusting that whatever problem, because maybe you could be going through certain problems or experiences and you're trying to solve this problem yourself, but it's something about you trusting, being at ease, being grateful, being in this high vibrational energy of gratitude, being at ease, trusting that everything that you're going through is part of the divine plan, allowing yourself to be in flow and receive what it is that divine is trying to give to you in this time, and to know that you're abundant, and keep going down this path and trusting as you offer this to the divine, the things that is needed will change for you, instead of you trying to control and change from the ego. I really hope that makes sense. Yeah, with self-love on the bottom of the deck and courage. With guidance follow behind it and worth. Wow. Self-love, courage, guidance, and worth. And divine love. Yeah, that's a message all in itself. You know, you learn and self-learn. You loving, my words. You learning self-love and courage and trusting in divine guidance and learning your worth and knowing that you're divinely guided and loved. Yes. Expansion of divine flow, extraordinary. Yes. There's something about, yeah, you're chasing. There could be people that could, with that chasing energy. And I just said this, that I would say something about this on the previous message, but I don't even think y'all are going to even hear the previous message because, like I said, the mic went out. So I think I'm still going to post it. And what y'all don't hear on that message, you may just not hear. But I'm still going to post it. And, or I may just post where it stops and then, you know, just let that be the message. Something significant about that. But I did want to speak about, like, this chasing energy. I'm going to keep going in the message. And if it's meant for me to speak about it, I will. I know what card I need to see if it's meant for me to speak about it. I have here Mother Earth. 22 could be significant. So it's something about, you know, Mother Earth bringing you balance. So maybe God in this time to spend more time out in nature, connecting with Mother Earth. There's something about you connecting with Mother Earth, yes, that's going to help transform you. Or as you connect with Mother Earth, this is going to help transform you. 33 could be significant. Yes, you could be going through like this transformation. I'm getting for like some, like there's different times that you've went through this already. You know, could be coming out of this energy as well. 33, 22 is here. 333, 222, you could be seeing that. 1313, you could be seeing as well. Free spirit. Yeah, something about you connected with Mother Earth as you go through this transformation, because this is helping you free your spirit. Or being in flow, trusting your path, trusting this individual path, knowing that you're learning what's meant for you to learn. This will help free up your spirit. So it's like you being this individual with a free spirit. Yeah, maybe you're, okay, that's what's happening. Okay, maybe you went through this awakening and now you're learning that you connected with Mother Earth. You went through a transformation, or you're going through a transformation, and you know, you're knowing that everything that you went through was meant for you, and you're more in this free spirited energy. It's helping to free your spirit. Yeah, with Limitless here. Yeah, Limitless is here. So it's like it's helping free your spirit, and you're learning how limitless you are with 20 here. Could be 20. Yeah. Be in this flow and know that you're like limitless. This is significant. Yeah, have hope. I just saw hope. You have hope. Your hope is what's been giving you here as well. Have hope. Yeah, 8 is here. So remember I was speaking of like, you could be seeing the numbers 888. And it says choices. So remember I said like there's something that you know, there's some gifts, some talents, and abilities that you have. There's something about you creating from this. There's like a choice that you're being guided in this make to do in this time so that you can create. Or yeah, you're being given choices so that you can create, and so that you can align with this abundance that you have within. So that you can receive, you know, this 888 energy. And 888 thinks of like financial gain, success, miracles, blessings, financial miracles, and things like that. So, yeah, emotions. So, these emotions, 12 could be significant. There's something about your emotions and you honoring them, and you feeling adequate. There's something about you transforming these emotions into adequacy. You believing in yourself, you having hope for yourself, or you know, this is something you did to get here and you're continuing to do, or it's something that you're being guided to do. Is have hope as you transform these emotions of fear, doubt. Yeah, as I said, of fear. Be fearless on the bottom of the deck. Wow. Followed by believe and move forward. Wow. with worlds within worlds. Yeah, it's something about, you know, you being fearless right now and believing in yourself and moving forward. Wow. With Sacred Journey that came out, it's here. You know, Sacred Journey. You trusting your path. You know, it's something about your creativity. I'm getting like you have like stories. One of the ways that you create is like stories that you tell or something like that. About your journey, about your path, about what you've learned, about what you've grown through. I'm also getting like you can transform your emotions. Your, like, let's say you have anger, you can transform your emotions into creativity. Maybe this is something you're learning. Or maybe like when it comes to your that's one thing, but I'm also getting like you letting go of you maybe got in this time to transmute those emotions so that you can get those emotions out of you and so that you can be more at like ease. Yeah, awakening patience. Yeah, I have here awakening patience. Yeah, there's souls that are mirroring you as well. So it's like you're not only going through this. So there's mirrored souls that's going through the same thing, and maybe they went through the same or similar path. You know, they had to go through awakening. They had to, you know, trust this path as well, and they've activated gifts, abilities, and talents as well. And it took a lot, you know, took a lot of patience. But these individuals, they have like the same heart as you. There's something about 2021. It could have been like a grand awakening in 2021. So you could have been going through this awakening since 2021 or 2020, something like that. 2022. You could be 33. Something about 2020 as well. You could be 26. But there's something significant about like the same or similar path where, you know, these the creative abilities is helping, you know, one another heal, or, you know, yeah. Something significant about that. I'm getting like you're being guided, and it's time to like, I'm just getting create. You want to create. I really hope that last message didn't end on it. The mic didn't stop working when it was talking about like dance with life, because that's what came out. It was talking about do something to change your energy, and on that message I was talking about like how our inner child, how you may be guiding this time to do things that you wanted to do in your childhood, or what you used to do in your childhood in this time. And that may be something that you may be guiding this time to like create from. Yeah, I have here into the unknown, underworld, depth, courage, facing your fears. We just spoke of that. So it's like this may be the unknown for you. You're going into the unknown. You're learning that there's depth of you, and that there's depths of you. But you know, this takes courage. Like your courage, like you're gaining courage in many areas in your life. So one thing I've learned, I'll say this, one thing I've learned along my journey, like I'm gonna say for me, I felt that once I feel like, okay, let me remove fear, right? And I'm thinking fear is gonna remove it from every area of my life. I've learned that there's depths of me, there's depths of this journey, there's depths of where I grew fear in, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking fear was going to be removed across all areas of my life. No, fear, what I noticed when it came to fear, or when it came to like feeling inadequate or feeling unworthy, I learned that I did that in different places in my life. Meaning like I had to heal different areas of my life to remove that fear, to gain that worth, to gain that courage. So in one area I may be fearless at, in another area, basically what I'm trying to say, in one area I may be fearless at, in another area I'm not so fearless in. Or in one area I may feel worthy in, there's another area I don't feel worthy in. And I feel like that there's layers. Not feel, but I've learned that there's layers of me, and there's depths of me. So I could be courageous in one area, but in another area I may not be there yet. And it's because I have to go through the lessons, or I have to gain the wisdom, or there's things I need to learn in that area so I can become fearless or courageous, or confident or worthy in that area. So I know that we see these quotes, or we hear people speak, and it just seems like, okay, I said this, period. It's a world behind those words. It's illusions behind those words, and this is something you could be learning. But I know for me, I had to learn, these words sound so good, but when it comes to the actual individual, the person I am, there's illusions, there's beliefs behind these words that I'm speaking, that I've created. I created a whole reality when it comes to certain words. So I could be like, I'm not, anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Remember I said something about you transmuting that energy? I have here the pearl. It says alchemy, the word at the end, from grit to grace. Yes, this is you. This is you. I'm getting like, you are the alchemy. Like you here now that went through this transformation. You went through a transformation. And you, first of all, you have been alchemized. And because you've been alchemized, you are now in this energy where you can alchemize. I really hope that makes sense. So you've been alchemized. You've been formed into this diamond, this pearl, may I say. And now it's time to, because you know how to do it, because you literally did it with your own self, now you can do it when it comes to creating. I really hope that makes sense. You've transformed into grit to grace. I really hope that makes sense. Wow. The rainbow, sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. Wow. Free spirit. You're going to be in this energy of just feeling like a free spirit. You could be seeing rainbows, or a rainbow could be significant. I looked at the bottom of the deck I have here. Unexpected gifts, kindness, karmic jewels. Remember, I just said that. Wow. I apologize if y'all can hear that, the background. Oh my gosh, if you can hear the noise in the background, that's not coming from me. It's not coming from me. It's from a neighbor. They're like right there outside, and they have their radio playing. And my apologies, just my apologies. I just shuffle the deck, and I see this card that says, she who flows, ease, being open to change, go with the flow. Yeah, so guess what went and it came out? The wishing well, unexpected gifts, kindness, karmic jewels. Yeah, it's like once you realize how limitless you are, or this is something you're realizing, how limitless you are. And I'm getting like you can receive in miraculous ways. I'm also getting like there's unexpected gifts that are making their way to you. You're aligning to the kindness, karmic jewels, just stuff like maybe there's a lot of karma you cleared out throughout your journey. You've done a lot of great things for others along your journey, as like you've done a lot of great things for people along your journey as you was going through karma, and or as you, we're not going to just say as you were going through your karma, but as you was going through your experiences. Some of it was karmic though. Some karmic cycles you had to close out, if we're just going to be real. We really don't be wanting to hear about the word karma, but some people don't want to hear that word. Some people don't believe in it, and I get it. I get that you don't want to create that reality. I just ask that if you're doing anything to anyone else that your soul knows isn't right, or your soul, it don't even have to be to anyone else. It could just be to yourself, that your soul knows that it isn't right. We're, like it says, individuality. We all go through this journey where our personalized earth school, where we learn the lessons. So if you're doing anything to yourself, or if you're doing anything to yourself and other people, and you're not aware of it, and it's coming from an unhealed place, and you haven't learned the lesson of it, that we're so, I speak from a higher point of view instead of, let's say, karma. We're so advanced and intelligent as divine beings, and we love so hard. Naturally, love is what we like. Like love is what we want to be. When our soul is so divine that when we do things to ourselves or other people, it's it's going to want to look at it. It's going to want to, how can I say this? It wants to experience. It wants to experience from all different ways. Our soul is so advanced that it wants to experience in all different ways. So if we did something to another person, or if we did something to ourselves, it's going to put us in that position to see how we would handle that situation. What am I trying to say? We're just gonna pass that, because I know what's in my brain that I'm trying to say, and I get that some of y'all will get it. Some of y'all get it. I was just trying to speak from a higher point, because like I said, a lot of people don't like the word karma. No one wants to admit to that energy. Nobody wants to admit to, dang, I'm getting, nobody wants to admit that, nobody wants to. Look, I couldn't even say the word. First of all, I didn't want to put that on me, because I know I close out a lot of karmic cycles. So you see, I didn't even want to say the words when I was speaking, just even in general. But there's something about, like, things coming to an end. There's something that I wanted to say too. Yeah, no one wants to be in karma or karmic or anything like that, but we have all been that. Not only that, that's what I want to say. It's like nobody wants to be, and I noticed this, nobody, like, you know how the Bible speaks of, like, enemies. Nobody think there's the enemy. And this is why, first of all, I feel like enemy is what it's saying. It's in me. So before it's anybody external, it's in me. This is my perspective. It don't have to be your perspective. I'm just here to give the perspective, be a guide, help you along your journey, help you see something different. Listen, I'm not here to move you. I'm not here to move you from what you already believe. I'm just here to help, be a guide, help give another inspiration. I'm not trying to be the God over your life. Let's put it that way. So I'm not here to bash anything into you, because one thing I noticed about that, I'm like, anybody that's trying to bash anything into me, I'm like, what are you hiding? That's just me being real. What is it? Because I remember as a child, that's why children be looking at us like that. Because I remember as a child, I'm like, why are you trying so hard to bash, like, put this into me? And then next thing I know, as I got older and as I have a child, I ask myself the question, why am I trying so hard to bash this into my child or put this into my child? Oh, because it's something I need to learn from it, or because I don't believe it, or because my soul isn't really truly believing this, but I'm trying to bash it. Like, it's so much that you learn along this journey. So yeah, like, I remember being a child being like, why are they trying to bash this into me? I don't believe none of this. You hiding something. So as a grown up and having a child, it circled back around, because I'm like, dang, am I hiding something? Am I not being true to me? Why am I trying to bash this into my child, this and this and that? Yeah. Anyway, so that goes back to this enemy thing. It's in me. So before it's anybody else, it's in me. And so, like, nobody wants to be the enemy, because first of all, we've learned that this enemy is external. No, it's first inside. This is what I learned. It's inside, and then that's what attract outwardly. So this is why when people I'm like, because how does people keep missing that? Everybody, I was like, how do people keep missing that they don't see that they can be their own enemy? It's not just external. It's not just everybody else. It could be you too. I'm like, you could read this over and over and think it's everybody else except you. Then I said to myself, I bet if we called them a goofy, I bet everybody get an act right. So just imagine if the Bible said, instead of thy enemy, thy goofy. I bet you people will act right. Everybody knows the terminology of goofy. Like, the goofy word is like being called the B word. No, it has its levels. I said this before, like, goofy have its levels. But nobody wants to really just be called a goofy. But if you do be called a goofy, there's some act right that automatically happens within you. Automatically. You may get offended, but if you're being called a goofy, there's some introspect you gotta go into. That's just facts. That's what I really believe. Enemy, nobody wants to take accountability for that word. But goofy, it's like, dang, I got called a goofy. It's like, something gotta be wrong, because I know. The thoughts I be having sometimes. But listen, I know I'm not wrong. I know there's somebody out there that's like, man, she do got a point. I'll overlook being called an enemy all day, but if I get called a goofy, I gotta be, there's something gotta be wrong. There's something that gotta be up. And like I said, so if the Bible kind of switched out that word to thy enemy, to instead of thy enemy to thy goofy, it'll be a lot of act right. I'm telling you. So I know I said about 50 things. I know I said about 50 things in one, hopefully. And see, that's the mind of me. I was guided to be more open on this channel. So that's the mind of Ari. Like, I just be over and over and over just thinking of things and sometimes I don't say it, sometimes I do. Sometimes I gotta check myself. I don't only call myself Ari on this channel. I've been calling myself that since I first started this channel. Like, even y'all see, even within the messages, if I mess up since the beginning, I'll be like, in the middle of the message, I'll be like, all right, okay, we're gonna get this right. But in person, I call my real name. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you thinking of? Why are you, but yes, I don't know why I was guided to say that, but I just don't be wrong, anyway. Alrighty. Oh, wow. It's so funny. That's why I was guided to say that. So, listen. Remember I just said there's something definitely significant about dolphins and seagulls. So, that could be significant. But listen. Remember I just said something about, like, I was guided to come out, like, speak out more and, be more of me. This Selkai says, come out of hiding. Embrace who you really are. Nothing is by coincidence. Nothing in these messages. Nothing. It all makes sense. Come out of hiding. Maybe that's a choice that you're being guided to make too, is to come out of hiding. Maybe when you come out of hiding, embrace who you really are. This helped get like that abundant energy, like in movement. I don't know why I was guided to say it like that, but it's like, I want to say it helps get the ball rolling, but with abundance, that's what I want to say. Then I have your mother of the salt waters, passion, wild love, open your heart, let love in. So there's something about love, you letting love in. Something about love and you letting love in. I'm also getting like you not chasing love. So that's what I wanted to say too. So here's another story. So, and I'm not afraid of saying it. Like I said before, I'm not afraid to say anything about my past because it's already happened. It's not up for debate. I've already lived it. I've already learned it. One thing about me, I'm going to do my very best to learn what it is that I need to learn. And so that's why I know that I'm being guided to tell stories more, because I choose to learn what I need to learn. So in the past, remember I was telling you about, like, I was going through this awakening. I went through awakening spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally, right? Well, the emotional part was, let's get into it. There was a time where when I was awakening, there was this loved one that I wanted to see. I wanted him to see me awakening. Like, I wanted him to see that I was awakening and becoming this new person, because I knew that who I was awakening to be was the person that he had always wanted me to be, right? And so that's who I was awakening to. Well, I'm not gonna say who he always wanted me to be, because when we were talking, I was already like a good person. But I knew that he saw potential in me, right? So in this time as I was awakening, we weren't together, but I was awakening, and I was awakening into more and more of who I was meant to be. And later on found out that this is the person he always saw me as. I just hadn't awakened to it yet. But I would see him all the time, And I wanted him to see that I was awakening into the person that he had always saw me as. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that you're able to stay here with me. So when we will always see each other, because there's nothing worse. First of all, let's talk about the emotions. There's nothing worse than not being with somebody and you seeing them all the time. I'm like, what is the universe trying to do? Why do you keep sending me this person? Why did every time I go to this grocery store, this person here? Now, don't get me wrong, because that's what I'm going to get into about the chasing energy. Don't get me wrong. I would know that he was going to be at this grocery store. And sometimes I will put myself in this place so that he can see, all right, here I go. But majority of the time, it was not me. Majority of the time, it was not me. I would say 80-20. I'm going to just keep it real. Maybe 70-30. 70 universe, 30 me. All right? Sometimes it got out of control, though. Sometimes it was me, too. But listen. So, going back to what I was saying, so I was going through this awakening. I want him to see. I'm like, okay, maybe the universe is keep putting us in front of each other because it's meant for him to see that I'm going through this awakening. So basically, every time we saw each other, we spoke, we'll talk. I was obviously going through something to him. So from his point of view, I probably was obviously going through something, but he probably didn't know what it was. For me, I was going through an awakening. For him, what's going on with this girl? No, I'm just playing. There probably was the introspect, but from my point of view, I thought he could see that I was awakening and becoming this person because I wasn't doing or saying the things that I normally had done in the past. So when I would realize that he didn't see this, or every time we'll see each other and I felt like he didn't see it, my emotions, I felt neglected, I felt abandoned, my emotions was like crazy. I felt like he didn't care, even though we're not together. We wasn't together or anything. But in my mind, because I was going through this awakening, I'm like, the universe keep putting this person in front of me, in front of my eyes, like this for a reason, because maybe we are meant to be together. Because I'm like, okay, why do I keep seeing this person if we're not, you know? And so keep going forward. I'm like, okay, so my emotions, they were everywhere. I felt inadequate. This is where my self-esteem, not only was I going through the stuff that I was going through spiritually or emotionally, I was going through physical things. This is when I was becoming homeless. This was when my mom became sick. This is when things were going on with my daughter as well. Things were happening within me I couldn't explain. So I was going through these emotions, right? And my confidence was declining. My self-esteem was declining. Courage declining. Fear, like everything was just, oh my gosh, because I just didn't know what was going on. And because the person that I felt like I loved the most, or, you know, I'm like, okay, if the universe is going to keep putting this person in front of me, why can't he see what I'm going through? Or why can't he see me? Why can't he see that I'm really awakening? I'm spiritually awakening. Well, later on, I did find out that maybe it's because this person, they hadn't spiritually awakening to see something, how it looked. Not saying they have never went through an awakening, but they may have not gone through like a spiritual awakening like this to even see like something like that looks. You get what I'm saying? So, keep going. Let me tell you what it taught me. See, I'm not just about stories and I'm not here to just pick it on one. This just shows you how I evolved as well, because the beginning of these stories, at the beginning of this message, of these messages at the very beginning of this channel, they don't sound the same. But now, the solutions, the wisdom that I've learned is what they was trying to teach me, because I was awakening inwardly. There was a lot of abandonment energy when it came to me being a child. There was a lot of abandonment energy. There was a lot of emotions, a lot of inner child healing that I was doing in that time. And that's why he was being presented in front of me, because he was the catalyst to that awakening. And since he was the catalyst to that awakening, it was like we were mirroring each other in a way, right? And so I would notice along the journey what I noticed, not at this moment, I was like, oh, this is abandonment. Because I was like, oh, I want him to see me, I'm awakening. I want him to see that I'm awakening, that I'm this, you know, I'm this person, I'm becoming this person. I learned that was coming from like a father wound, because who he was to me, he meant that much to me that I saw it as like, wow, look at me, be proud of me, I'm becoming this person. That's how much I cared about it. That's how much, you know, I looked to him as like this father figure, and he give off that vibe anyway. And so that's when I wasn't getting that was activating, that was triggering that energy even more. So I took it as I started getting resentful. I started getting, you know, even though we'll see each other and I still smile, still be happy, resentment started to settle in. It started to be a lot of energy with resentment. Even what I will say, even when we were together, I had some type of resentment towards him, and I found out it was a father wound. It was a father wound because of the character he had, because he had this fatherly energy, but I had this father wound, and I couldn't see him as him, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Going on to what I was saying, because this will be gone. The stuff that I've learned, it'll be going on and on. But going back to what I was saying, the emotions that I felt, my self-esteem crashed, confidence crashed, everything. Oh, I felt so inadequate. Especially there was a time I texted him, I was like, and I've spoke with this before, especially at the beginning of this channel. I had, what did I message him? I said something about, I was basically trying to figure out, why did the universe keep bringing us together? Why do I keep seeing this man? I mean, I saw him more than I saw him when we were together, like out in public, right? And so I'm like, okay, maybe I need to shoot my shot. Basically, I shot my shot and got straight up rejected. It's not even in a negative way. Rejection don't even have to sound like, oh, he played me, but basically, you know, it was a move around situation. And so, but like I said, it wasn't negative, but I remember my response just being okay, because I just felt like I was trying to hold on to that so much, or, you know, I felt like my hands was trying to be on him so much, or be on this situation so much. I remember saying in a message, okay, I'm just going to take my hands off you. And it wasn't in a negative way. It was just saying, like, I'm taking my hands off the situation. I'm taking my hands off of this, and I'm moving forward. Now, did I do that fully? No, because I was still trying to figure out why. Because guess what? The next day I saw him. We used to run around the same area too. Not only did I used to see this man at the grocery store, I used to see him running all the time. So we used to run, or we used to run around the same place, or I would drive where he would run at. So the next day after that, I saw him. And I'm like, why are you doing this to me, universe? Why? Why are you doing this to me? Next day I saw him, and I just felt super inadequate. It seemed like it didn't bother him or anything. But anyway, yeah, I was just like, I'm going to take my hands off the situation. Didn't do it. Held on even tightly, honestly. But going back to what I was saying, like, what I had to heal, what I had to first notice is it was a father wound. What I had to also notice that this was healing that needed to take place. I really hope y'all can hear me, because that radio is so loud outside. And this is a really good, like, your girl finally opened up more than look. But anyway, let's go back to what I was saying. Going back to what I was saying, like, there's things I had to learn to get me to where I am now, especially about my emotions and where we even came from. It was a lot of inner healing that I had to do. Child wounds I had to heal. I had to ask the question, where is this coming from? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel inadequate? And like I said, that blew my self-esteem. That blew my confidence in my self-esteem. I mean, shot it right on up. But I had to realize, and going back to that chasing, like I said, like, there was a good 20-30% chance, like, I would know he'd be in these spots, and I'll be in these spots on purpose, right? And then when I put myself in these spots and I not get the reaction that I wanted from him, it dropped my self-confidence even more, my self-esteem even more, me loving myself or feeling adequate even more. It was one time, let me tell you, my inner child, oh, this really did it. So listen, there was one time, right? So I like to draw. And my inner child, it likes to create. It don't matter if it's ugly or not. It likes to draw and create, right? And so there was one day I was listening to this song by Adele, One and Only, right? And so I knew what I was thinking about. I was thinking about him when I listened to this song. So I drew this, what was it, a butterfly? What did I draw? I drew, and I used to do this all the time. Anyway, not all the time, but what I'm saying, like draw. But anyway, I drew this butterfly, right? And then I wrote the name of the song. What's a butterfly I drew or something else? But I wrote the name on the song and on there. I told him to listen to it. And I knew I would see him at this place, right? And I kind of made it like vintage like. So I kind of balled it up, kind of made it like an ashy gray, balled it up, let it be crinkled, balled it up, because I wanted it to be like vintage like. So I knew he would be at this store. We go to the same grocery stores, both same grocery stores, right? And so I knew I'd see his car. Saw his car. I put the note there. Put the song. It had the song there. It had what I drew there. And yeah. And so why am I telling all this? This is significant. Somebody need to hear this, because I know I'm not the only one just be out here. I know I'm not. Like I said, what can we do now? It's nothing we can do. That's happened years ago. It happened like 2 years ago? So I'm not even in that energy where I'm mad at it anymore, or where it affect me. Like, and maybe this is the cycle where it's closing that out of feeling like of the finishing touch, you know. But anyway, I put it in his mirror in his car, right? Like his side mirror, like, you know, the mirrors that's outside. I put it in there, and I knew he would come out. Because I knew he would come out and see it, right? And so I ended up seeing him in there, but I didn't say anything about it. I ended up seeing him in the store, didn't say anything about it. We exchanged our little words. I was nervous off there because I'm like, dang, this might seem childish, or just, dang, I hope he get it. So next thing you know, we 2 weeks go by. 2 weeks go by, and I'm like, dang, did he get it? Dang, like, that's what I'm just thinking to myself. So I see him 2 weeks went by. I built up all type of emotions. I'm like, man, why does the universe keep playing with me? Or just, why do I keep playing with myself? That's what I kept saying as well. So I end up seeing him, and then I end up kind of mentioning with anger already there, emotions already there, and I remember me bringing it up, and he said he didn't get it, and I was like, what? He was like, I never got that. I'm like, it was in your, basically just like, it was in your mirror. I put it in your mirror. He basically just said he didn't get it with a straight face. I'm like, so in my mind, I'm like, why would he lie about that? So I'm like, okay, maybe he didn't get it. I was like, but who did? That's what I really wanted to say. Like, who did? Somebody watched me, and that's a whole nother story. But I'm not even trying to get into that, because I feel like that's something you should have saw. So I feel like somebody, you know, watched me put that there. But we not gonna get into that. That's that spiritual warfare I've been talking about. But I'm not gonna get there. I'm not gonna go there. But anyway, so I remember that conversation that day. I remember. Do I want to get down into this? But I'm gonna say this because this really what just took me there. Do I want to say this part? No. The conversation, to this day, I don't think he know that these words, he probably meant it in another way, but for me, it really cut deep. I remember we were having this conversation that day that I finally had saw him after giving him the paper or whatever. I mean, well, not giving to drawing what I drew and him not getting it. I remember we were having this conversation and we were just talking about like, kind of like purpose and everything like that. But we were on that subject, but not on that subject. But I just remember him saying like something like, it looked egoic to me. I don't know if it was, but it looked egoic to me. He was like, basically like, get out, like, if you basically, if you're not gonna like do what you need to do now, you know, get out the way. And it seemed very egoic, you know. And I was looking at him like, I've been doing it. Like, not just getting out the way, it's I've been doing what I need to do, and you don't see this. You looking at, and in my mind, this is where I went super deep. I'm like, oh, you thinking, this is what I was thinking in my mind. Not saying that was factual, but I'm like, oh, you comparing me. You comparing me to what you see on the gram. You comparing me to what you see in physical, because you see people physically moving. You think they in their purpose. You don't think what I'm doing spiritually awakened. Like I said, we never even had a subject about conversation about awakening or spiritually awakening or anything. This is me thinking he knowing that I'm going through an awakening. But I'm like, but even in the midst of my growth, I was still expecting him to see that I was moving. I'm not just here taking up space or taking up energy. So when he said get out the way, that made me feel like, oh, you comparing me to someone who you feel like greater than me, and that you see me in my spot where I'm not physically things physically not showing, and that I don't want to get all into that because that hasn't been clarified, and I basically already told that story, but that's just too much. That part's too much. That's too much. But basically what I'm saying, am I gonna post this? Should I post this? I hope y'all are still here. Going back to what I was saying, the reason why I even brought up this is because I had to learn to stop chasing that situation, stop chasing him. One thing that had taught me, like literally, one thing, not only did my self-esteem and my confidence go downhill, but my feminine energy was depleted, straight up. Like, it was already depleted, and I was already in my masculine energy like it was nothing. Like, I was already in my masculine energy so bad because I was going through things that I was going through physically and everything in my life. When every time I saw him and I felt like I was chasing him, or every time I saw him and I felt like he wasn't seeing me, it's like my feminine energy was being depleted more and more and more and more and more, right? It depleted, and every time I chased him, one thing that I noticed is that every time I chased him, my feminine energy be depleted even more. So basically, all of what I'm trying to say is the lesson that I learned. I know the saying. Now, this one saying that I agree with is like, you're not supposed to chase a man. That's factual. I had to learn that to see that, and it's not like I've always been this woman who chased. I didn't listen, and I'm not trying to sound funny when I say this, but I'm not trying to sound funny when I say this, but that's not just something I do. I just say it like that. I'm not a chaser. So when I found myself in this energy, and I wasn't getting the reaction or anything I wanted, it depleted me, and my feminine energy got depleted as well. And that's why I agree with that saying, because it literally does take away your feminine essence and your energy, because I see why they say like feminine energy is a receiving energy. You're supposed to be in the energy. It's not that you're supposed to chase. You're supposed to be able to be in a receiving energy. Be at ease enough to be in a receiving energy where someone is able to come to you, and so that you can receive it. I've learned that the chasing part does not work. It literally depleted me as a woman. So I'm not sure if you're a woman that you went through the same thing, or you may need to maybe guided here and you need to hear that part or something. But I literally watched my value in my feminine energy just go lower and lower and lower and lower. And it took me so long to build myself back up. In areas, I'm still building myself back up. But the thing is, what I learned also, it wasn't fully there in the first place, because what that catalyst did, what it did was be the catalyst for me to get to my true essence and who I was and what it is I like, what it is I honor about myself. Yeah, I already loved myself, but what it really did was, first of all, I was able to gain the experience on, oh, okay, this is not just a saying. You really don't chase. You're really not supposed to chase. Whether it's money, men, anything, women, anything. You're really not supposed to chase it, because it take away the abundance and take away your energy and take away the essence of who you are. This is something I had to learn, so I'm grateful for that. But not only did it do that, it made me go back to that inner child and see what was going on, so that this don't happen again. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I learned from this, and that's why I was guided to tell this story. I know it took 30 minutes to tell this story, but that's why I was guided to tell this story, because my emotions, when it comes to chasing and your emotions and things like that, it may be a deeper meaning of why you're doing what you're doing. And what's showing that mirror in front of you is just being the catalyst so that you can grow. I just said this on a message before, people could be mirroring you. That could be a person that you don't like, that you don't care about. It's a example that I gave when I was telling you in a message a few days ago, where I was talking about I used to be at this job and there was this lady that I didn't like, and I had to hold myself accountable and see, why is it that I don't like this person? Because I've never not liked a person before. And I'm I had to ask myself, what is going on? And then I figured it out. So even with this situation, I had to figure out what's going on. My confidence was shot. Everything was shot, but it was because it was never fully a strong foundation there in the first place. And I had to go within and see what was going on so that I could become the woman who I am now, confident in who I am now. Yes, there's layers. So there's other areas that I'm still, I'm healing, but that was one thing that took over my worth. I did not feel worthy after that, but now I'm learning more and more what's going on and why I feel the way I feel or felt the way I felt, so like I said, I'm not on these messages just talking. I've been doing it as well, but it was a lot in that. It was a lot. I also learned that I was going through awakening, not just for myself, but for that person as well. I took on a lot of warfare, not just for myself, but for this person as well. Matter of fact, a lot of people around me, I took on that spiritual warfare. This is when I also found out I was an empath as well. It was a lot of times where I felt that, it was a lot of scenarios where I felt that, okay, I absorb energy. And this is where I was feeling okay, this is where I found out I'm an empath, or just in those terms. But I learned that I wasn't just taking on my spiritual warfare. I was taking on this person's as well, because of the energy of them just being in my energy and me seeing them all the time. And, I was taking on their spiritual warfare, and they hadn't awakened yet. So I had a lot of heaviness on me too, I had a lot of heaviness. What I meant to say, I had a lot of heaviness, not just from me, but from their life as well. And that's also what, now I understood that along the journey. I understood that earlier, that I was taking on their spiritual warfare as well. And it caused a little bit more resentment. No, I'm not going to even lie about that. But I get why a lot of things are happening and have happened. And this is why I don't like when nobody compare me, because I know no one has first of all, the discipline I have, the strength I have. I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say no one has it, but I know the people that is either comparing themselves to me, or who I'm getting compared to, don't have the strength or the discipline that I have in the areas that I have passed or that I've went through, There's things that I'm disciplined in that a lot of people don't know about. There's things that I haven't done in years that a lot of people don't know about, that I've been chose to be disciplined about, that a lot of people don't even know about. And if I say it, they may believe it and they may not. There's things that I have accomplished or had to have strength in that a lot of people probably wouldn't have made it through that. So this is why I feel I I feel away because it's first of all, it's not just disrespectful for me, but it's disrespectful for the person who comparing themselves in their journey. Just it's not even worth the comparison. You discredit yourself along your journey when you compare yourself to someone, and then people that compare people is discrediting the two people's journey. It's not fair. You don't know what that person went through for you to be comparing them to this person, or you don't know what this person went through for you to be comparing them to that. It's unfair. You don't know what they had to get through. You don't know what they're disciplined in. You don't know what they've overcome, and it's just like I just don't. Yeah. That's why I no. All right. I'm gonna post this. I have here the waterfall. It says inner power, unbridled confidence, claiming your place. I can't make any of this up. Wow, and that fell on sacred journey in your path. That's what you had to do on your path. This is what you're learning on your path. This is why you had to go through that sacred journey. You had to gain inner power, confidence. Now you're in this energy of claiming your place. I just spoke of all that in the story that I just told. Wow. What's really driving you? True motives, breaking free. Let me get one last card. It says ancient wisdom, the intelligence is within you. Wow. I'm going to get the overall message. So it's like, what's really driving you? Yeah, this is what's awakening, and like there's this drive that's within you that is awakening. There's something that you maybe got in. It's time to ask yourself, like, what are your true motives, so that you can break free from. I'm getting like it could be comparison. I'm getting like you have a lot of wisdom with this water codes here. You have a lot of intelligence. It's speaking like you breaking free, knowing that you're very wise and intelligent. All right. So this flew out. I got here hardship, calmness. Hardship, calmness. Change. I think we have change out here twice. Yep, we do. Oh, I really hope y'all can hear me. I'm sorry. I apologize for breathing like that. It's just, that's been going on for days. Hardship, calmness, change. I just saw empowerment. True offering. Okay. Hardship. It says, may I embrace what's happening right now, as baffling or painful as it is. Help me, God, to trust where you are guiding me. I am yours. Then I have here calmness. The inner divine is the witness of all, remaining still and quiet, even during intense turbulence. So take a deep breath and then say, quiet my mind, dear divine. May your peaceful calm take over. Change. Don't scare yourself with the next 40 steps. All you need is that one next action. You can say to love, just show me the first step and change me into one who can take it. True offering. May I release the fears, illusions, and addictions that keep me from true offering. May I relax into your plan, trusting that the next steps will always be shown. Use me, love. Use me for the highest. I'm yours alone. May I release the fears, illusions, and addictions that keep me from true offering. May I relax into your plan, trust that the next steps will always be shown. Use me, love. Use me for the highest. I'm yours alone. All right, so in this time, you're being guided to be more grateful in this time. This is going to help put you on this energy of, of a higher vibration, and it's going to help you be more at ease. You're this individual that is going through this journey, learning and growing, and this is something that you're being guided to know that it's meant for you, so that you can be in this flowing energy. You're meant to learn whatever it is that you're meant to learn, so that you can gain the wisdom that is needed. So you're being guided in this time to let things flow and be more in this receiving energy. So what's needed for you can come next, so that you can allow yourself to be in a part of this divine plan and have the divine abundance that is meant for you. You're also being guided to know that what is meant for you, you don't have to chase it. and to trust that your path is meant for you, that everything that is meant for you along your path is meant, you know. And anything that you feel like that is too much, you can always give it to the divine, offer it all to the divine, and allow yourself to surrender and let go of the control of it, and let, you know, the divine plan take over. I really hope that this message resonated with you all. Sending you so much love and light. May you get it through the wind. Thank you.
See me as a threat of some kind. And I'm here to do good. I'm not a destructive person.
Why do they see you as a threat?
I think every strong woman in history has had to walk down a similar path, and I think it's the strength that causes the confusion and the fear. Why is she strong? Where does she get it from? Where is she taking it? Where is she going to use it? Why do the public still support her? When I say public, you go in and do an engagement and there's a great many people there.